horsepower in a road car. Let's go. There is no traction. We are going on a bit of an adventure. And where are we going, Adam?
The land of Greg's.
England. We're going to pick up the new engine for the MX-5, and as you can see on the back, there is a trailer. But we'll talk more about that later on. For now,
sleepy time.
Shrug on the top. Fresh, ready for the mission?
Ready.
We're going to pick up the enthusiasm later on. So, as we said, we're in the UK and we have a massive journey in the next couple of days. I'm going to put a picture on the screen right now of the Google Maps of where we're going to, and yeah, it's not ideal. We tried to.
You say we, like I'm doing 100% of the driving, so.
Yeah, but I'm here with you. It's not my fault that Ireland won't give me a trailer license. Anywho, we have a few stops today, do we?
We do, a few.
The most important thing on this trip is
Greg's. That's not Josh's boyfriend. It's a food chain in the UK that make average pastries.
the best pastries in the world. In the last video we asked you about chicken fillet rolls. That was to the Irish. Now to you English folk, what is your favourite thing at Greg's? Mine is a sausage and bean cheese melt.
Mine's going to be the Starbucks because it's just across the road from it.
Say my love for Greg's. There she is, Adam. It's like it should have one of those. As far as Greg's stops goes, it wasn't the best.
What was the selection like, Josh?
Putting a photo here, it was abysmal.
Abysmal. Yeah, so didn't live up to the name. Average at best.
Well, you know what the great thing is? We can just keep on going to Greg's till we get a good one. So a bit of an update on the MX-5 engine, seeing as a lot of information was kind of dotted in different videos, and I'm a bit confused with what's been said, what's not been said, so we're just going to clear all that up now. So Adam and Dave, when they took the trip over to get the Verosa, they dropped my engine down with Dave Yandel down at DY Engines to build it up, and a few weeks after he said that the engine was complete scrap. So he's pretty much built a brand new SR back up, and I'm not going to bore you with any of the facts of that because he told me and I don't really understand them. So when we get down there, he will talk you through all the spec and everything about the engine. And just to clear up a bit of confusion with we were going to put the V8 into the MX-5 from Dave's Corvette, and that was an option we were going down to maybe make the car more reliable, but that's when DY Engines got in touch saying they will make an engine that will be reliable, and it also keeps the uniqueness of the car with it being SR20, only one in the world, trying to keep the SR alive. So hopefully that clears all that up for you guys. And if you don't know what's going on with the car fully, the last video we did on the MX-5 kind of gives a brief history of the car up to now. So if you go watch that and this, you'd be completely up to date with the MX-5. So we're at our first genuine stop off. I'm not going to show around too much of this place because it's going to give away the car that we're picking up later on this trip, but I will give you a little tease. This is one of the parts that we picked up. If you comment the car that we're picking up correctly below, I'm going to give one lucky viewer a Drift Games banner. Hopefully this isn't a too obvious part. I don't think it's a too obvious part, so you're either going to have to know the chassis very well or just be very lucky and you guessed right. But for now, back onto the road to eat up some more miles.
Welcome to a very, very cold Bristol. I actually looked at the top of the aerial. Is completely
Oh my
frozen.
god, that is completely frozen.
Yeah.
So, we left yesterday and we're having a lovely pint in the warm hotel room. And we join you in a very cold farmyard.
I suppose we're going to pick up a very cool engine, see some very cool projects.
So he said he was bringing down some customer cars down here that were going to be pretty cool. And yeah, I think he nailed that.
He definitely didn't disappoint. So we are going to take a hard look over these. We just want to go in, get the engine sorted, get a few bits sorted inside, and then we'll come out and have a bit of fun with these because they are supposedly nuts.
Hello.
Hello.
My saviour of the SR. How are you doing?
Not too bad, thank you. And yourself? You alright?
Good to see it, good to see it.
So here we are at DY Engines, and this is the place and the reason why, fingers crossed, my SR20 is going to be indestructible. And yes, I know I've said it now, indestructible this year. As you can see from the amount of machinery around the place, everything that they build here is all done in-house. Meaning that they, and this is the most unbelievable thing that they do here, they stand over and even give a warranty with their engines. But realistically, there is no point of me going around here and telling you what's what, because myself and Adam don't really know anything around here. So let's get Dave Yandel, that owns DY Engines, to give us a walk around and talk about everything that's here. I think we've got the engine in the right place, if I'm going to be honest. This is every chance of me not blowing up an engine this year. We're throwing at it. So you said our engine is through this door, so should we just go? Yeah. Should we just go see it? Whatever about all this boring stuff. Look at that.
It's not even remote. What's left? What's salvaged from your engine?
Your rocker cover and your sump.
Top, bottom, and everything in the middle.
It's completely different.
Completely brand new.
This is brand new.
Yeah, it's a different block, different cylinder head, different crank, rods, pistons, valves, springs, cams, pulleys, new water pump, new oil pump, ATI front pulley, everything top to bottom, all brand new, as it should be.
So all those things that you just mentioned then, are they all the things that I broke on the original engine?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Yeah, did a great job there, mate.
There you go, did a great job, he said. Give us a quick rundown of what you have done to this engine. Why is it going to be reliable? What have you done?
Took a core unit, a new core unit, stripped it down, everything was chemically cleaned, aqua blasted, checked, cleaned again. Then we've oversized the block, so he's 86.5 mil, so he's first oversized on the pistons. Got some CP high compression pistons, some manly rods. Cylinder head then has got BC springs, BC top caps, brand new set of Tommy cams, new rocker arms, new chime and chain kit. Literally it's had the full works, so yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed, you don't break this one.
That sounds like a lot of expensive stuff. I'm sure I'm going to have strong words of not to break this one.
I set the rev limiter to about 2,000 RPM in this because you're barely going to be able to allow drive this around the pits.
So I'm not sure if we said this before. We're actually, so the old engine roughly made 500-ish, maybe a little more, depending on the dyno that you put it on. That's kind of pushing an SR to its limits, you were saying. So we said we're going to put a smaller turbo on it, but you said it will drive better than it would do at 500 horsepower.
Yeah, so it's alright having all the power, but it's a bit of drivability and reliability, isn't it? That's what you need. So I think if you put a different turbo on it, slightly smaller turbo on it, you should probably be able to have more fun with it, and it should hopefully drive a bit better as well.
But here's the next step.
This is the billet one that you were saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, why don't we just do one of these?
Because you're tight.
That's sounds like us. So this is a billet SR. So one thing that we've seen some of the Titan ones and stuff like that in America. The kind of is this like exactly the same as an SR, or is it kind of like a reimagined based on an SR20?
I think it's pretty much an SR20 and then took all the bad bits that they have problems with and changed and made stronger to make them better again. So it's obviously a complete solid bit of alloy to start with, and then they put big liners in it. They put a massive great crankcase on it, so it's like a split block, and everything about it is just so much better and so much nicer. The only thing is it's really heavy.
I've got nothing to compare to. Yeah, and that's actually an empty block with nothing in, so...
Just adjust the block. Right, makes sense.
Yeah.
It's the price you got to pay for being fancy, I guess.
Actually, one thing that did catch my eye in the corner, I assume this is like the end, like top, everything.
So this is like what we're just getting into now. This is the new age sort of thing of what you can build now. But this is their brand new Toyota blocks, brand new Toyota cylinder heads, brand new Toyota crank, and everything is absolutely brand new. You couldn't get any more new than that. That is.
So the crazy thing about this is this engine came out in what, 1999 was it? Alright, so it's over 20 years old, and Toyota are still making this engine new that you can buy.
Very, very good engines when they're done right.
Yeah, I think we might do.
We're putting a clip. There's actually a clip from LZ Fest of it's just limiter. Right, so I think we've got everything that we need to know about engines. We're now engine masters.
We're going to go back and set up DG engines back in Ireland now, and probably rival Dave here because we know everything. So
right, so let's go outside and check out some of those the cars outside. Right, so what do we have here?
this is a road car, Josh. How many horsepower?
It's 750 it made.
Okay, so this is Drew's car here. So give us a quick talk through what is in this road car.
They've built 2J.
Lots of fancy stuff in the engine bay. That's, well, I'm not gonna lie, we don't know anything about this.
But obviously it's a 10-year project you spent a lot of time on. Like what's Dave done to it?
So it's a fully built 2J, Hypertune manifold, Grady T88 turbo. Loads of little shiny nice bits on it. 1000C injectors. It made 750 brake at 2.2 bar boost. Yeah, it's quite Larry.
The thing I will say, and this is something that I very much like, you've got a great deal into colour code and everything on here. Like even the radiator supports, everything's kind of purple that can be purple. Even the bit on the injectors are purple.
Tried to make it as nice as we could, really, yeah.
Whatever about all this fancy mechanical stuff on here, you know exactly what. The rocker cover, is that crushed carbon? Yeah. Like genuine, not even like a fake one. That's the detail that you've gone to. Yeah, I'm not sure that's reflective enough.
Not quite.
Yeah, because that's like in Ireland they have to be a certain size, the fonts have to be a certain lettering, they have to be this way. And here just have a carbon plate and just random bits and pieces. Actually even notice the carbon boot.
And also a nice little pie cut exhaust down. Nice little drift game sticker there. Thank you for the support. What's the paint code?
Night Purple 3.
Oh, it is actually midnight purple. It is actually midnight purple.
Yeah.
I was going to say there's lots of variations of midnight purple and I have no idea about them, but I would have said that it looked like midnight purple. And because it's a road car, Drew's kindly said that you're going to take this out on the road later on.
Yeah, we'll go for a little drive by all means here.
Right, moving on. This is probably... Are we moving to Irish spec now?
Oh yeah, this is more what we know.
Please tell us about these machines.
So obviously two different types of Starlets, one being...
We could give that information right now. I mean...
Yeah. So obviously one's completely stock, bar the wheels. Original engine, 50k on the clock. There's a massive thing about this car because I actually inherited it off of an old woman that I never even knew. just from knocking on the door and leaving my name and number.
Yeah.
That is the coolest story. That's the ones that you always hear
Yeah,
about.
'cause you know, like you see those cars and you leave the notes,
Yeah.
and then you obviously never hear it, or they just chuck them
Well,
away.
she'd passed away, and her son rang me because she left a letter on the fridge, the note on the fridge to say that I was to have it. So
That's
8 years
amazing.
later, when I restored it, I phoned. I put a post on Facebook trying to find the guy, her son,
Yeah.
that had given me the car, and I tracked him down, and I took the car back to show him, and he absolutely loved it.
That's a really nice story right there.
That's a wholesome story.
She literally just used it once a week to go to Sainsbury's and back to the bakery to pick up some scraps for her chickens. So obviously, hence why the mileage is so low.
What an incredible story that
It's nice
is.
to have a story behind the car, because you could just say, "Oh, I bought it for £500 and I painted it and it's nice," but there's way more detail. There's a nice bit behind it.
Yeah. Well, like I said, if you've got 25 minutes to waste,
Yeah.
type in Josh Brooks Starlet on Google, and there's a podcast that I did with 2 guys in Pennsylvania and USA.
And then I have a feeling that this one is quite the opposite.
This isn't
This one.
this isn't the granny Starlet in the corner.
Yeah, I bought this one as an MOT failure, and then I come and see Dave, and I've spent a mortgage on the car.
As it always goes,
Yeah.
money pits.
But yeah, this is just a full race car. Everything in the engine's been done. Dave obviously done the engine. TD04 billet hybrid turbo kit. It's 271 horsepower, 220 foot-pounds of torque. At just over a bar.
271 horsepower.
Yeah,
And
just
how much
over
have
a
you
bar.
weighed the car?
Yeah, it weighs 730 kilos.
That's crazy. Oh, thank you very much for showing me
thank
two
you.
incredible cars. Right. This is a different approach. This thing, what is this thing?
So it started off as like a standard 86.
It's spiraled out of control.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
horrifically since then.
Yeah.
This is like the stereotypical drift car now. It is GTA 6, probably all wise fab, everything done, and a big old 2J in the front. So what power is this running?
It's about 860 flat out. So yeah.
860?
Yeah, I don't really run it at like 800 really. Yeah, most of the time. Yeah.
Just to be a little bit
Yeah,
safe, you
yeah.
know. You don't want to go over.
Yeah,
the
that's
top.
it, yeah.
And then what are you running on here? The Pandem Rocket Buddy Pandem kit?
Yeah, it's a copy of it, but yeah.
Bold statement. You went out there and said it's a copy. You're not even trying to hide it.
Yeah, when I smash it up, it's not too expensive.
Super clean. Actually, like a road car almost.
was just gonna say-
Apart from if you see the big ducting down there to the rear-mounted rad.
You do have a number plate on it. Is that just for show?
It was MOT till like a couple months ago. But I must admit I haven't used it at all. Really. It's quite nice to test it just before you're about to use it, but yeah, I haven't used it at all really.
So you got a Quaif.
Quaif gearbox, yeah. We actually used like the 14 column and whatnot because I had one lying about. Excuse the horrible seats because they're out of the 14 as well. But that's the plan.
Excuse.
Get some new seats for it. But other than that, yeah, it's all pretty simple stuff. It's nothing out of the ordinary, like so.
This is literally just you built it.
Yeah,
It's worked,
yeah, it's been brilliant.
and
Literally,
you haven't really had to do much development on it.
No, nothing. Literally, I done a different shaft at the end of last year. Other than that, touch wood, it's been brilliant.
It's a very common theme, as I said, throughout the day. It's not the engine's fault, it's everything around it that we have to fix. So.
I don't mind that. That'd be new for this year. The engine's fine and everything else is actually
I
broken.
haven't tested any other parts because they haven't got a test. So it'd be nice to give them a test.
So time to take a spin in this road car. People would kill you for taking this car out on a winter's day.
I'm not overly happy about it, I'll be honest.
I'm not gonna lie, I did persuade him a little. Well, so it seems like it drives pretty smooth, pretty drony on the inside.
Big 4-inch exhaust to do that.
Yeah, there's a price to pay for 700 or 800 horsepower as a road car. So 800 horsepower in a road car. Let's go. Oh, there is no traction! I'm not sure there was any traction the whole way. I don't think you got any traction. So because Dave's been so good to us, we're gonna sneakily leave him a bit of a present before we leave. We have a box of stuff.
Pretty much,
hoodies, flags, t-shirts.
pretty much everything they have in stock at the moment on the shop. I'm going to leave it here from sneakily.
I say, you know what would be nice? Leave it where the engine was. We've replaced the engine with
Clothes.
anybody looking for any merch, shop.driftgames.life, and you'll find all the styles at the moment, but we are in the works of lots of new designs for hoodies, t-shirts, lots of accessories, so keep an eye on our socials for when that stuff drops. Dave, you're an absolute legend. Well,
You're
actually,
welcome.
I may have spoken too soon. Hopefully you're a legend. Hopefully.
What would it be? 5 minutes, 5 miles. That's your warranty. Whatever comes first.
5 minutes, 5 miles.
Whatever comes first.
See you guys. Thank you for bringing the car down. Oh,
Cheers.
look at your mucky hands, honestly. You
Dog
can,
life.
you can tell you work on your car yourself. My hands are squeaky clean. The engine is all locked and loaded. Although I can't show any of this because it has our next mission's parts in. See you, buddy. It looks like it wants to kill me. So the SR20 for the MX-5 is now loaded, going back to Ireland, and hopefully within a few weeks it'll be back in the car. But the question to you guys, what would you have done if you were in my situation? Would you have stuck with the SR20 or gone a different route? I know the SR20 is a very love or hate thing. So would you have stuck with it or would you have gone a different route? We're now on the way to our next mission.
Which you still can't name, but it is. It's the sat nav says 8.5 hours, but with stoppages, trailers, and everything else, I would say it's a 12-hour drive. So we'll get there. We'll get there.
We'll get there, and on the next episode, you'll see us there. So catch you then.